Well, Alex, let's bring you back in because, of course, if anybody's got any suspicions about the jab policy and is going to be asking questions, you are probably going to come under scrutiny by the government itself and the security services.
Yes. Now, on Monday, David Scott communicated some details of the inquiry going on in Edinburgh, the COVID inquiry, as a devolved part of the United Kingdom. And the remark was made with some justification that if the Scottish COVID inquiry isn't going to do things because the London, UK-wide inquiry is, then what's the point of the Scottish inquiry? Well, inquiries do throw up certain interesting gobbets, even if they are controlled operations. So here, the Daily Telegraph has picked up on this. That's two submissions by senior civil servants, one of them very high up, she's a DG, a Director General, indicate that the Counter-Disinformation Unit has got the Spooks on board. So the Counter-Disinformation Unit, as Mike Robinson reported at the time for UK column viewers, because he's eagle-eyed on this, started off before COVID, reporting on what the American parrot machine calls threats to our democracy. So it was allegedly thrown elections and so on. But come COVID, everyone went headless chicken and decided to get Counter-Disinformation Unit trained on so-called peddlers of medical misinformation at the same time as YouTube and all of the others did. Trouble is, and as the Telegraph was better than some on reporting on the details of, what Whitehall did was bring in external companies, AI gurus, probably behind the backs of my former colleagues in the intelligence services, to be frank, to say who is peddling the misinformation. And the AI geniuses came back with professors of health who oppose universal jabbing, professors of medicine. These are your bad guys. Well, anyway, the depositions now made by two, Susanna Story and Sam Lister, have indicated quite a lot of detail. They have a disinformation board of around 12 people. It includes members of the UK intelligence community. Most likely that would be one or two from each of MI5, MI6 and GCHQ, probably one each at a mid, maybe sub-director level, my guess. They've got it's 19 pages of witness statements that they've gleaned this from. And she has said, although it's not the first time we know this, that the chair of this disinformation unit, her day job role is Director of Security and Online Harms, an Orwellian title for government. So the other person who gave similar testimony is a former Times journalist who was drafted into the Department for Culture, Media and Sport, DCMS, as is the way these days. And that is illustrative of the composition of the unit, because although we were told in the past classified, too sensitive for the people to know, we now know from these depositions and other related statements, as reported by the Telegraph, that there's about 25 core staff on this unit, and it can be augmented to 50 by seconding people in a crisis. So that is rather a lot of people training themselves specifically on the likes of UK column, and we don't flatter ourselves, we're all the centre of the attention. People like Dr. Mike Eden, and a professor that was mentioned from the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, Dr. Alexandre de Figueiredo. These were the kinds of people who ended up being cracked down upon. Probably not directly the fault of MI5, MI6 and GCHQ, but their seniors went along with it.
Alex, thank you very much for that. Well,